And hello and welcome to Orion Today. I'm Joe Johnson, and once again I'm joined by Michael Dwyer. Thanks for joining us again today.
It's a pleasure to be here, and you're back from that big trip.
That's right. Yep. Went on a much-needed vacation to Disney World. I haven't been to Disney World in a long, long time.
Since you were this tall?
You're pretty darn close. Yeah, it probably was just a few years after it opened to the public. And so we had a group of about 14 people assemble at Disney World. So you could imagine.
It's a family?
Yeah, a big family trip. We stayed at a resort. We had the lightning lane passes to all the rides and everything, and stayed out there for about a week, believe it or not. And it was fun. And I brought back some photos from the trip, and we want to take a look at some of them. It was a fun experience. The Cinderella's castle at night is just absolutely spectacular. They have it lit with projectors and lighting, and they do some really cool creative stuff with it. And
so the lights change?
Yeah, you'll see an example in a little bit. But yeah, I was kind of calling it one of the 7 modern wonders of the world. It was just spectacular, and one of the biggest landmarks. There's an example during the fireworks show. You can see that they projected different types of colors and images with spotlights and searchlights and fireworks. It was absolutely incredible. That's just a single photo. That's not a composite of a bunch of things going on. That's just me lifting my camera and snapping a photo. That's what you saw with your eye. It was just spectacular.
Now, was it a special event, or does this happen every night?
It happens every night.
Every night?
Every night they do a fireworks show over the castle. And it kind of makes me laugh because every year here in Lake Orion they scramble to raise $20,000 to do the annual fireworks show. And over at Disney World they're doing it every night. It's really amazing.
Well, the ticket prices to get in must be a little high.
They are a little high. And the same night of the fireworks that I was at, they have the electric light parade that marches down Main Street there. And the floats are just absolutely spectacular. The costume characters, it's just really something to see. It was really a marvel. And of course, they got the costume characters roaming the streets of Disney World. So one of the first ones that I ran into was Pluto. And I got in line with the little kids to get the photo op. Wherever you see a costume character, there's usually a line of people waiting to get up and get a one-on-one photo with them. So I saw Pluto and took the opportunity. Over at Galaxy's Edge, the whole Star Wars themed area, that's part of Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Right.
You have costume characters, stormtroopers roaming around. And I have to admit, one of the most emotional moments for me when I got there was seeing that full-scale Millennium Falcon that's on display.
Full scale?
Yeah, they have it on display at Galaxy's Edge. And you'll see these costume characters roaming around. You can interact with them. This is over by Star Tours. We ran into Darth Vader himself. And probably my favorite ride of the entire week was called Rise of the Resistance. Have you heard it?
No.
It's kind of based on some of the newer Star Wars movies, the sequels, and you escape from prison basically as a rebel sympathizer, and it's like you're being like you're in a movie, full scale AT-ATs. You're driving under stormtroopers shooting at you, Kylo Ren chasing you with a lightsaber. It was just thrilling, absolutely thrilling.
And you must have escaped because you're here today.
That's right. But there was a really cool effect, and I don't know how they did this, but as Kylo Ren was trying to attack us, we're in this jail cell, and you see the ceiling start to light up, and it looked like a lightsaber busted through the ceiling, like he's trying to cut a hole in the ceiling. And I just marveled at that, like, how did they do that? Because it would move like it was cutting the ceiling. But we had a chance to pilot the Millennium Falcon, and there's a Toy Story land, and just all kinds of cool stuff. It was really amazing.
Could you get the hyperdrive to work, or was it on
I did,
okay.
Yeah. So I have a niece that works at Disneyland, so she's like, grab that thing, and I grab it and I push it forward, and all the stars go streaking by. And Mandalorian from the relatively new TV show, I was really happy to catch him. And that little Grogu that you see in his pouch, that's like an animatronic. It was moving and cooing and making noises and stuff. It was just, for someone who's a Star Wars fan, it was just a huge thrill to see that. And then, of course, you know, Magic Kingdom takes you back to being a little kid. There's Mickey at the end of the lighted parade there. But Magic Kingdom, you know, I love all the classic rides, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Haunted Mansion,
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. Even though that beats you up pretty good, it knocks you around. There's that full-size Millennium Falcon, and me with my Star Wars Blue Milk, which is more of a frozen fruit drink, and there's me at the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. It was just really, really spectacular. I had so much fun there.
So was it a hunk of junk, or was it nice?
You know, I don't know. If I saw it for the first time, I'd be pretty impressed. I don't think I would call it a hunk of junk.
Just pulling some lines from the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
there's the Tron ride, which was one of my favorites, where it goes pretty fast and you get inverted on an outdoor track, but you're sitting on it like a motorcycle, and the harness is just on your back, sort of keeping you from flying off the ride. But that was one of my favorite rides of the week too, was the new Tron ride at Magic Mountain.
Now, was that based on the new movie?
Yeah. Basically, it takes the themes from the new Tron movies, and they had music from the new movie playing and everything.
So a lot of this stuff, if you're a fan from the 80s and 90s, maybe you're a little more old school, you're still going to get something out of it.
Oh, sure.
And if you are keeping up with all the current trends and what they're doing, it's even more so.
Yeah, they try to keep things modernized. But you know, it's interesting that some of the older things are still as popular as ever. I mentioned to the staff here that I went to the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular, where they kind of show what goes into making these movies. And that attraction has been there forever, and it was completely packed to capacity. Like, it's still as popular as ever. Really amazing. So all the explosions and Indiana Jones running from the giant boulder and all that stuff.
So it's a big production. It's like a large live stage show every day, every night.
The Indiana Jones like 3 times a day. Yeah, so I would imagine at some point they're just going through the motions, but it's still a thrilling show. It's really amazing.
So if you worked there, who would you play?
Oh, that's a good question. The one role I really admired is I got to witness the ceremony at Galaxy's Edge, where people pay to build their own lightsaber to their specifications. They choose the color of the gem, which dictates the color of the lightsaber, and they put all the pieces together. And there's a guy who leads the ceremony, and he was just great, just big and imposing, had a British accent, and he directs everybody what to do. And then at the end, you hear Yoda's voice saying, you know, it's great power comes great responsibility, basically. And everyone lifts their lit lightsabers in the dark. And I would love to be that guy, to lead that lightsaber ceremony. That was a blast.
And how many people were doing that at one time?
There's probably 15 to 20 at any one moment. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
It's really cool. And they pull out trays with all the parts, and you pick the parts and assemble your own lightsaber.
Now, you were there for a week?
A whole week. And
wow. You probably didn't do everything.
No. We went to the Universal Park for one day, and we only hit a fraction of that. You could spend a whole week at Universal Studios, which isn't part of the Disney thing. It's its own separate thing. But there's, you know, Jurassic Park stuff and Harry Potter stuff to see at that park. So, yeah, there's no shortage of stuff to do, and it goes by fast.
Well, next time you go, maybe I'll go with you, because you seem like the right person to be there with.
Yeah, and I was lucky because I have family members, you know, they're those Disney families, so they knew every aspect of the park, and they would point to things and, you know, oh, you see those names up there? Those are the Imagineers who helped create the rides and the attractions. And they knew everything about the park, so yeah.
Well, and there's hidden Mickeys.
Exactly, yeah.
There's lots
they were
of
pointing
things.
out a lot of those, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. As a matter of fact, on the outside of the full-scale Millennium Falcon, my cousin pointed out a little teeny Millennium Falcon that was part of the gadgetry on the exterior of the ship. Like somebody hid a Millennium Falcon on the outside of the ship. It was pretty cool.
It's fun that they put that much thought into it, and they must employ just tons of people for all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. yeah, I could imagine the money that they pull in on a daily basis. And if you upgrade to the lightning lanes and all that stuff, it's that much more. But we wouldn't have experienced half the stuff we experienced if we didn't have the lightning lane passes.
What's the weight difference?
So any given ride, you could probably wait at least an hour per ride. Sometimes it was as much as 90 minutes. With the lightning lane, it was 10 minutes. So we got
Definitely the way to
now,
go.
you were only able to use it once per ride, but man, we flew through it and got to experience everything. It was great. So yeah. When was the last time you've been? Have you been?
I'm going to guess that it was my high school senior trip.
Oh wow.
So that was a bit ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Mickey was young.
He was just a little mouse.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was fun. Yeah. So Epcot was on the newer side.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of this stuff that we just mentioned pretty much wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, so, you know, like I said, I love the classic rides, Pirates and Haunted Mansion. I'm sure all that stuff was there.
Yeah, we did Space Mountain like 5 times in a row.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I did a little research on it. Walt Disney, he found out that like 70% of the people going to Disneyland, which was built like in the 50s or something, most of the people were from west of the Mississippi River. That there was a lot of people who lived east of the Mississippi River who never made it to Disneyland. So he wanted something on the East Coast, and so he started buying land in Florida, and I guess he visited the property twice before he passed away in '66. And so his brother Roy, who had retired at this point, came out of retirement to help finish Walt's vision in Florida and built that as a second.
So the land was only purchased at the time that he saw it. He
Yeah.
didn't see any of the structure.
And it was very hush-hush. People are like, why are these speculators coming in and buying all this property? And some people thought it was NASA, and there was all this speculation. And then this reporter was interviewing Walt Disney and said, you buying up all this land? And they said, his face went white. And they were like, oh, I guess he is. And because they didn't want people driving up the price and all this other stuff. So it was very hush-hush. And so a lot of the dummy companies that they used to purchase the land, you'll see their names on some of the businesses and stuff in Magic Kingdom. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. So, now, while I was away and while I was out sick last week, there was all kinds of stuff happening here in Lake Orion. As a matter of fact, Orion Township had really been promoting what's going on over at what was previously known as the Great Lakes Athletic Center. So there was a big ceremony, a big tour. Here it is up on the screen. Things started off at Pine Tree Elementary. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Orion Township has purchased Pine Tree Elementary. It was, I guess it's called the Pine Tree Center now, but it was an elementary school. And due to declining enrollment numbers in the Lake Orion School District, it became Pine Tree Center for special needs students. Well, it turned out that the center was mostly serving people outside of Lake Orion. So eventually the township bought it, and they're talking about turning it into park space, recreation space. This is over at Friendship Park. There's the Howarth School, which is currently being developed or restored into a tourism space for elementary school kids and visitors and things like that. The Port Barn, which had been moved from its original location, is now on the property of Friendship Park. So they're pretty much side by side. But the township wants to kind of use that space as an educational space for students and visitors. And
well, that one photo looked like it was set up for as a wedding venue.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to have some sort of an event there, yeah. Now this is Heritage Park. This is a relatively new park on Baldwin Road near Pasadena Street, and they called it Heritage Park. And this was property that was owned by the Ginjo family, I believe, and they donated the property because they didn't want to see it developed. They donated it to the township, and they turned it into a public park.
Okay.
Here we are inside the athletic center, and as you know, the township purchased this when they were in foreclosure, I guess. and it is now the new senior center, Parks and Rec offices, and of course, people can still come in and use it as a workout place. So they had announced a couple of weeks ago that they are having a contest to rename the center from Great Lakes Athletic Center. So now it is officially known as the Orion Recreation Center. I'm sure people just refer to it as the Rec Center. So they had a ribbon cutting. They had people from all over the community come in to celebrate the new branding. So that was a big event last week, Wednesday, I believe it was, and lots of cool things happening in Orion Township.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to the ribbon cuttings, but as you probably remember, I teach Tai Chi down there at because it started here as your neighbors, the Orion Center next door to us here at ONTV. They moved down there, so they've got the senior center, the Parks and Rec, all of that's combined with the existing athletic club. Yeah. So they put a ton of money into it. Looks great. I think they still have more to do, and there's some debates on how everything is flowing, but they're getting there. Our classes are going well. So Orion Recreational Center, or I'm sure people are going to say ORC.
Possibly, Mark from ORC, and they have moved a lot of the events there now over the past year. The Summer Sizzle, the Boo Bash, the events that they've traditionally had here at the Orion Center are now taking place at the Rec Center. So they're basically completing that transition as the school district continues their move into this building. And I'm surprised we're not hearing any hammering and sawing as we speak, because it's just been ongoing. They've been working furiously over there to get that building ready for the school district offices.
So there are going to be offices and downstairs and something else upstairs, meeting spaces?
That's a good question. I have not stepped foot on that side of the building to see what kind of progress they've made, but I'm not sure where the offices are going to be. I think they want to keep the banquet space, but I'm not sure. Okay. But I'm hoping by the end of the year that they'll start that move. You may have heard that the school bond proposal failed at the election a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know how the school district's going to regroup. Because I'm sure they're depending on that. So we'll see how they move forward after that.
Another item that had lots of debate and controversy around, but school millages, they usually pass. Eventually.
Normally,
So they're going to regroup. They're going to put it back on the ballot. It might take a couple rounds before they get there, but I'm sure they'll get there. The community will be convinced that it's needed. And
well, I read something recently that it's a bigger trend. It wasn't just Lake Orion. It was all over Oakland County. There's a couple of bonds that passed, but the majority of them failed. And I'm wondering why there's a backlash against the schools right now, where voters don't want to pay the taxes to keep things going. I'm a little confused by that.
I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently, at least to sound intelligent. But I think people are watching their pockets, and money's a little tight.
You're right.
They want to make sure that the schools are doing what they say they're going to do, and they want to see that the money's spent wisely.
So we'll keep you posted on any developments in that area. Speaking of the schools, the thespian troupe over at Lake Orion High School have just a few days left of rehearsals on The Outsiders. Are you familiar with The Outsiders? It was a novel that came out in the 60s, a movie that came out in the 80s, with a stellar cast. Everyone in that cast went on to big careers. Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, C. Thomas Howell, you name it. There was a stellar cast, and a cult film that people still love today. And the high school is doing their version of it on stage, and the curtain goes up this Thursday. So I ran over to the school yesterday, on Monday, to talk to some of the cast, one of the crew members, to see how things are coming along. Let's take a look.
You want to start on us too? No. You don't look the type. What's your name?
Wish you had asked. It's Pony Boy Curtis.
That's an original and lovely name.
Well, my father was an original person. My brother's name is Soda Pop, and it says so on his birth certificate. So Pony Boy is kind of the person that the whole audience gets to experience the whole show through my lens, Pony Boy's lens, because wherever he goes, the audience kind of follows. So we get to follow, the entire plot line through the stabbings, the killings, the running away, the fear, the dread, everything that Ponyboy feels, it's all pushed into the audience so they can really tie into the whole story.
Have you gone back to read the novel or watch the movie?
So the day, I dabbled in the story a couple times before I actually auditioned, but the day before the first rehearsal, I just sat down and I read the entire first book, and then a couple days before that I watched the movie, and I just did so much research on the time period itself, so trying to figure out everything I can collect, not just in the book, but like everything from the time period so I can put it on into the show.
Dallas is a bit of a cold-hearted fellow. He doesn't really show any emotion, and that's because he lived in New York. He had to deal with all of this violence all the time, and it's made him a little more concentrated in his own head than outside. And through the story and through some of the events that happen, we get to see the development of this, how this continues and how this changes, and it ends in a really interesting climax.
Why did you want to be part of it?
Well, me and my friends watched this movie as soon as it was announced, and as soon as I saw it, I knew it was something I wanted to be involved with, whether that be acting or crew, because the show and the story to me is super meaningful, because it shows the divide of social classes and how we're not as different as we might think, which I think is an important topic.
Johnny's a very traumatized individual. I think that he is very self-conscious of where he is and when he is at almost all times, because of the things that happened to him over the course of the show. And I think it develops to get more and more closed off until the big change in the end.
Were you familiar with the story prior to getting involved? Did you read the book or see the movie?
Oh yeah, we all had to read it for our 8th grade year, of course. I think most people do. But even before that, I had read it, and I had seen the movie probably 100 times. It's one of my family's favorites.
How familiar with the story were you of The Outsider?
Very familiar. I went to a different district for middle school, and we read it in 8th grade. So I was very, very familiar with it. We read the book and watched the movie and everything. So I was super excited when it got announced.
With the curtain going up on Thursday, what percentage would you say you're done? Are you pretty close to
I think we're very close. Yeah, I'd say at least probably 95. It's always interesting. We have a saying, you always have drying paint on opening night. And like as the curtain's going up, there's always something that's still happening. So I think we're in a very good spot.
Well, I think everyone should first take a moment to appreciate this amazing set. I mean, every single brick laid was hand-painted by someone on this set, and that's just insane with, the hundreds of bricks that we have laid up. It's just, it's insane. I think there's something to appreciate on every side, and I think walking out of this theater, I want everyone to just have a moment of reflection with your family and friends, just to think about what you've just experienced and the messages that you can receive and apply to your own life. Just in our own community, there's so many wealth disparities and also social classes that we have yet to acknowledge, and I think this play takes a step back so that we can acknowledge it from a new point of view.
I want them to look at the characters and make connections between the characters and who they see in their life. Because over the course of the show, we see a lot of people who are inner, a lot of people who may present their emotions more forward, and I think that if you can draw the connection between the characters and your real life experiences with people, you can learn a little bit more about the people around you.
This has been like a phenomenal journey. I've loved to see the whole development. Maybe a week ago, we had half of the walls up behind us, and the difference between that and Saturday our set build has been phenomenal. And the same goes with our actors. The beginning of the show, the character that they had based on, just what they're reading to what they've came up with while we've been rehearsing and all the work they do outside of it, the change is phenomenal. And I think everything has a huge new depth to it that you might not understand unless maybe you ask some of the actors after the show.
Yeah.
I hope they come away with appreciating our hard work and really just acknowledging how far we've come and how much work we really put into this, and just recognizing the story, because I think it's not as popular as it once was. So I really hope that they know the story and get the message from it.
So the curtain goes up on The Outsiders this Thursday at 7 p.m. And then there are repeat showings on Saturday at 7 p.m., 1 p.m. The 22nd, and then 7 p.m. the 22nd at the Performing Arts Center. I'm sure if you go to their the thespian troupe 2898 have a Facebook page, and usually they have a link on there. You can go there to purchase tickets and things like that.
So it's 1 weekend.
1 weekend,
Yeah.
that's it. So they've been rehearsing and auditioning since September, I think. So imagine the amount of work that goes into this production for 1 weekend of performances. And
Well, hopefully it does the same thing like the movie, and it launches their careers into something spectacular.
well, I asked you if you recognize some of the kids, and they act in the short films that we show at our Wildwood Film Festival back in October. And so there's so much talent in this community, and those kids are wildly talented.
Yeah, and they're passionate, and they're having a great time. They're just having a great time, and that's what you want to see. Not only the talent, but just that they're enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly, and they sure seem to be. Now, let's segue to the interview that
Yeah,
you
I had a
recently
chance.
did.
I had a chance to sit down with Don Walker. He's the president of the Friends of the Orion Township Public Library. They're having this basket silent auction going on right now. They do this every year, and they hit some record numbers. So let's take a look. Welcome to Orion Outreach. I'm Michael Dwyer, and joining me today is Don Walker. He is the president of the Friends of the Orion Township Library. Don, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Michael.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and we're here to talk about what you guys do over there, but primarily you've got this basket thing going on. So
We do.
tell us about the baskets and how that's a fundraiser for you.
It's one of our most successful fundraisers. We do it once a year around the holidays, and we call it our holiday basket auction. It's a silent auction, so we collect a number of things from the community, gift cards from restaurants, things that the manufacturer makes or the store makes, or they put together the baskets themselves. This year we have a record number of baskets. We have 55 baskets this year.
So 55 baskets. Are they all on display at the library?
They've been on display since the 1st of November, just a couple of days ago, and they're on the tables right in the middle of the library. We discovered last year, that was our first year of putting them there, bidding goes way up when people can find them. We had the baskets sort of in the back of the library. We get way more bidding because they're coming into the library, which is a very fine place to be for any reason, to see the baskets, and the folks that are bidding bid them up on a regular basis.
So the baskets, well, first of all, it's important to support our local libraries. They're fantastic resources for the community. And of course, there's different ways to fund the library, but this basket, the holiday baskets, are a special silent auction, additional fundraiser. 55 is your record this year. How long have you been doing it?
I think for probably about 15 years we've been doing it. And we have better years and worse years. COVID hurt us a lot. We had to pivot like everybody did, but we've got it back up and running again. Besides the basket auction, we have our book sales. We have 4 or 3 book sales depending on the volume of books every year. So we raise, I don't want to say substantial money, but substantial money for the library every year. And these are all through the hard work of the volunteers of the Friends. We are all volunteers. No one makes a nickel on this. We do this on our own time because we love books, we love libraries, we love reading.
Absolutely. And for people that might not know, the Friends of the Library is a separate nonprofit outside of the library itself. And many libraries have these two entities basically working together. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. I think almost every large municipal library has a Friends arm for fundraising. And there's a FOML, there's a national organization of Friends that we're members of to keep eye on other people, what they do, try to pick up ideas and implement their ideas and improve their ideas for our basket sales.
You have these different fundraisers, the Friends of, all the money it's first of all, it's done by volunteers like yourself.
Yes.
And it comes back to the library. What does that money do for the library?
Well, what we do, we have a budget. We meet with Chase McMunn, the librarian, once a month. We have our annual, I guess that would be a monthly meeting. And we go over the numbers. We ask him what he needs. And if we can provide something, he needed additional funds for, say, I don't know if you've been to the library recently, but we have a new parking lot. It has changed the entire complexion of the library. We helped with that. We couldn't afford to pay for it all, but we pay for things. We're talking about getting new furniture for the library, this is above my pay grade, I'm not much of a techie, new whiteboards for the libraries so that you can use your computers to project things on these boards and work with them that way, kind of like when I was a kid, a blackboard in the 3rd grade. These are whiteboards, but way beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, and beyond the ones with markers and a whiteboard, these are electronic devices.
That's correct. They're fired up by laptops, or I'm a member of a little ukulele group at the library now too, and we use that for our songs. We put song lists on there, and when we meet at the library, we play off of those whiteboards.
Okay, so it's beneficial for lots of aspects, not just what I would think students or presentations.
Correct.
What are some of the other programs that your work does to be able to fund at the library?
Well, again, as I said, we meet once a month to see what programs are necessary. We've, because of the ukulele group, we've just donated a couple of ukuleles to because the library doesn't just lend out books. Some people think that's what a library does. It does that, but you can rent tools, you can rent computers, you can rent anything. And when I say rent, you borrow them. There's no cost.
Right. It's a lend.
It's a lend. Like you check out a book for 2 weeks. You check out these. If you need a leaf blower, I think I may be speaking out of turn here, but I bet they have.
That's a
one.
good example.
Exactly.
And I bet it's on hold this time of year. Yeah, and so the library's evolving, right? When we were back in school as students, it was books and magazines and newspapers and microfiche, and it's very different now. So you've got all this technology that you can rent, maybe try it before you buy it, or just use it from the library so that you don't have to buy it. It's a one-time thing. Like you said, the tools, things that you would need for a special project. I've heard some libraries rent Wi-Fi abilities so that if you're having an event or a party, you can bring Wi-Fi into that type of event, things like that.
Right, and they have Wi-Fi areas in the library rooms that you can rent, and every one of them have Wi-Fi connections. It's all free. You can bring your stuff and do your homework, do your real work, whatever. And the staff they are phenomenal. They are the most helpful bunch of people I've ever met.
Would the library be able to survive without a Friends of group like you?
I'd love to say no, but that's not true. I mean, I would think it would be a lesser place without us. I'll put it that way. We provide things. Should I talk about numbers? I don't hate. I mean,
if you want to. I mean, you enhance the experience that the library provides.
Correct, but our book sales can bring up to $10,000 per sale. So we could provide $30,000 or $40,000 a year from our efforts for the library. Now that's nowhere near what their budget is, but it helps.
It helps. It absolutely helps.
Yes.
With programming, bringing guest speakers in, all sorts of things.
Oh yeah, we had a guest speaker just recently. We went in conjunction with the Art Center, and we had Curtis Chin, who authored this book about all he's learned about life he learned in a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I heard it was very successful.
We had over 100 people. I fell in love with the book. I discovered that I had actually eaten in Curtis Chin's grandfather's restaurant when I was in high school in the city of Detroit. We bonded. He sent us a book autographed that is now one of the centerpiece in one of the baskets for the silent auction.
And of course, yeah, we're talking about these 55 baskets for the silent auction that are on display at the Orion Township Public Library. People can come in and bid. What does that look like for somebody when they come in? How do you bid?
It's a little overpowering because you look at there. I get maybe about 10 tables set up in the center of the library, and they're all sort of gift wrapped. I think you have a flyer there that has a picture of kind of what they look like. But Barb Pody is in charge of it. She is the basket queen, if I can call her that. She does a great job, and she puts things she assembles appropriate pieces for each basket, try to get a theme for each basket. And it's all wrapped up in tissue paper, looks very nice. And then at the bottom is a bid sheet. And you put your name, put how much you're bidding. You come in there and you just, if you like it, the bid's $35. I'll bid $40. And then it goes until, I believe, the 22nd of November. And
Yeah,
then
that's what it says here. November 22nd, they have to get their bids in. And I'm sure there's a value of that basket listed, so
Correct.
people know how far to go with that.
we asked the donors to put a value, because we don't know how to evaluate the value of the baskets. We asked the donors to put an approximate value. If they're gift cards, like from the local restaurant, they're easy because it's a $25 or a $50 or $100 gift card. It says it right on there. That's what's in that basket. So you know that basket's worth, no matter what, $100.
Right, right. And now, do you find that people are bidding on these baskets as a holiday gift item they can use, or is it for themselves, a little bit of both?
I think it goes both ways. I think a lot of people come in, and I have a couple little jobs with the township, and one of our consultants adores the library, and every time I see him, he's talking about this and that, and he bids on the same thing. We get the same kind of power tool donated every year, a different kind, and he was very disappointed he didn't get the bid last year. So he's going to come, he said, with more money this year and try to get that next power tool.
Now, like most silent auctions, you got people that run around and they bid on things that they want, or maybe they bid on things that don't have a high bid,
Right.
thinking, oh, this is a great deal. Now, on that 22nd of November, the last day, do you have a lot of people come in and checking their bids?
It gets a little crazy. It gets a little, I have to admit, I messed up a couple of years ago. Somebody came in with the last bid at like 2 minutes to go, and I'm the one that closed it and gave it to that bidder. 2 minutes later, someone else comes in and says, I wanted to bid, but I cut the bid off 2 minutes too soon. I used my magical powers and got another one to that person for the money that they would have bid, so it made everybody happy. But I learned my lesson: wait until the clock strikes 12.
Yeah, good advice. Now, you mentioned that these baskets have themes. I know here at Orion TV, we donate one, and it's got film-related, movie-related type of stuff in it. What are some of the other themes that people do, and can you mention any of those places?
Well, I'll mention the ukulele club. We since we were there now for the first basket auction, we donated a ukulele club basket. In there are a couple of ukuleles, some instruction books. I think we call it a free lesson. Not that we are teachers of the ukulele, but anything musical. We put some harmonicas in there, kazoos. So whatever the interest is, we try to make it. Or Barb especially, she's very good at making these things come out very nicely. And I hope perhaps I will invite on TV to stop by sometime between now and the 22nd to maybe film that and show it to your folks. It would help us out a lot, right, folks?
Absolutely. So I'm sure that you might see Joe Johnson come
Okay,
running
yeah.
down.
Joe is a regular at the
And
library.
it's close. You guys are right down the road.
Right.
What are some of the other themes? So we have places like us here at Orion Television. What are some of the other places that have donated baskets, and what are those themes? Can you think of
Ace
them?
Hardware it donates tools, hand tools, socket sets, things like that. Restaurants for sure, food. We get last year we had a garage door opener. I mean, that went really well too. So we don't know, whatever the kind citizens and of Orion and businesses of Orion want to help us with, we take it and turn it into magical books for the kids.
So just a few days left in the basket auction. Have you had a chance to go over there and take a look?
I haven't, but I need to get over there because they just sound tremendous with the 55 different ones and all the different options. And we donated one, Orion Television.
Well, yeah. We donated a basket to them, and we donated a basket to the Lions Club. They just recently had their big charity auction for Christmas baskets at Christmas time.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to do your holiday shopping by doing something nice for an organization. So
Sure.
Go bid on something. Maybe it's just for yourself. Maybe you're selfish and you want those items. But some of these baskets are huge, so you can pick out a couple things for yourself and maybe pick a couple things for somebody on your holiday gift, or just give them the whole basket. So
Yeah. You know, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, when organizations like this need the community to come through with these donations, the Lake Orion community does every single time. Whether it's our food drive or these charities that solicit donations and baskets, the community comes through every single time and helps these organizations. It's really a special place to live.
it is, yeah, it's a great community, community. So go bid on a basket.
There you go, at the library. Pop in. Next up, we'll have a little musical interlude for you. Here's a performance from the North Oakland Concert Band from their production of The Sleeping Giant. So it's hard to believe that Thanksgiving is a little over a week away.
Yeah, just around the corner.
And if you listen to WNIC, the holidays are upon us already. They're already playing their Christmas music. But next week when Thanksgiving rolls around, what's your family tradition?
Well, it's bounced around as a lot of families do. I used to host Thanksgiving. It was my mom's tradition, and she had Alzheimer's, and so I had to take over doing those duties. So when she passed, I just continued, but it got difficult. So now my nephew does Thanksgiving. As people grow up, they start taking over some of these traditions, and the whole family is happy someone else
sure.
is doing it.
Well, it's nice when someone steps up and takes the responsibility.
You know, we bring a dish to pass, but they do all the heavy lifting, and it's nice. You?
Yeah. My cousin traditionally hosts Thanksgiving at her house. We probably have 8 or 10 people come. The day starts off with us watching the Lions game. They have a charcuterie board on the kitchen table, and they go through all the sale papers for Black Friday. They lay out their plan of attack for Black Friday. I don't want to have anything to do with Black Friday, unless I might try it on Amazon this year. I don't know. But we sit at the table, we watch football until dinner's ready, and sit around and watch more football as we eat dinner, and that's been our tradition for years.
Well, if you enjoy that.
I do.
I'm not a big football fan.
Oh, I love it. Can't get enough of it, yeah.
But I know the Lions play that day, so that's an important
right.
part of many people's Thanksgiving tradition here in Michigan.
Oh, definitely. Now, like I said, you know, for a lot of people, the holidays are already underway, and things kind of officially kick off this Thursday in Children's Park in downtown Lake Orion. The Downtown Development Authority will be kicking off the holiday season with their annual Sing and Stroll and Tree Light Ceremony. So here's a little soundbite from the DDA about what to expect on Thursday.
Let's kind of take a look into the future and what's going to be happening to celebrate the holidays in downtown Lake Orion.
Yeah, so we're going to have the Sing and Stroll that will be coming up November 20th. And again, it's just it really just celebrates the sense of community and hometown, kind of that hallmark feel that we have in downtown Lake Orion, where we do the tree lighting ceremony and we have different performances that happen, get a chance to sing along to Christmas carols. So again, it just really envelopes as far as our community with that event. So
Are you going to have the horse-drawn wagons back?
took the words right out of my
I
mouth
beat you
there.
to it, yeah.
We will have the horse and wagon back, and that's always a favorite treat.
That's awesome. And usually right around that time, too, the Orion Art Center has their holiday market. So that's another
do.
reason to come downtown, yeah.
Yeah, and if I have it correctly, I think they're opening up November, I believe it's the 29th, which is the same time that we're doing the Shop Small Day. So right after Thanksgiving on that Saturday, Shop Small Saturday, come down and support local and buy local and help our downtown merchants out. So
That's terrific.
great way to support the local economy.
So if you haven't been, I really encourage you to check out the Sing and Stroll in Children's Park at the gazebo this Thursday. I think things get underway.
Now, are you
around
going to
6.
sing and stroll?
I'm behind the scenes. I'll have the camera and I'll document the whole thing. But it's really one of those small town things that give Lake Orion its charm and quality of life. It's really something to see.
Yeah,
and
sounds
they'll
like
have
fun.
performers, they'll have singers and dancers and horse-drawn wagon rides, like we said. But so check it out this Thursday at around 6 p.m. I think things get underway. Of course, once the holiday season gets underway, the big event that everyone looks forward to, which will be is a couple of weeks away, is the Lighted Parade. And the big fundraiser, the annual fundraiser for the Lighted Parade, is the Friday before. So that Friday, I want to say December 5th, I think, is the Holly Jolly Folly at Golling Buick GMC. And then that following Saturday, I'll get the date for you in a second, is the parade, the nighttime Christmas parade, which I think is closing in on its 30th year, which is so crazy.
Yeah, it's great because I think Oxford does theirs through the day, and then Lake Orion does theirs in the evening, and a lot of the same stuff goes from one to the other. But it's unique having this lighted evening. It's great.
Yeah, and the community's really embraced it. So recently we had the parade committee chair, Bill Cocaine, has come in to help promote the parade. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name's Bill Kokinis. I'm the president of the Orion Lighted Christmas Parade. We'd like to invite all of you to come out on December 6th at 6 o'clock in the village of Lake Orion to see one of Michigan's biggest lighted Christmas parades this year. This year is our 30th year that we are having our parade, and we are looking for all people to be involved in this. If you'd like to be a participant, you can go to our website at www.orionlightedparade.com and register. We don't have a theme this year because it's our 30th year, so we thought everybody could come up with their own ideas. We also have our fundraiser, which is the Holly Jolly Folly. That's at December 5th at 6 o'clock at Gowling Buick GMC. You can also buy your tickets for the Holly Jolly online to participate there at Gowling Buick GMC. We'd love to have everybody out to come out. We love the community. We're looking forward to a great event, and we hope you can come and join us. Thank you.
So yeah, thanks, Bill. He does so much for this community, not only just with the parade, but helping raise funds for community organizations, and through Gowling, they do great stuff here in the community.
Yeah, have you been to the fundraiser?
Sure, the Holly Jolly's a blast. I
Yeah,
love
I've not
going
been to that. I've been to the parade, of course, but not to that.
Yeah, everyone who's anyone, no offense, goes to this event.
That's
on
why I've
Friday
never
night.
been. Is that what you're saying,
So
Joe?
you should come on the 5th. It's a blast. Good food, good music, and just all the best people here in Lake Orion. There so many people I consider friends are all under one roof for the Holly Jolly Folly. It's a lot of fun, and they raise money for the parade every year.
Yeah, sounds
so
like
Gowling
fun.
Buick GMC, Friday the 5th, and then the parade Saturday the 6th, which is, like I said, the community's embraced, and it's just become this spectacular night in downtown Lake Orion. And we'll be there with our cameras.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
great. Go to all the parades.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're
Yeah,
fun.
definitely. We're going to wrap things up now with a look at upcoming events. Here's this week's quick hits from Becky.
The Orion Library Holiday Basket Auction is taking place now until November 22nd. This fundraising event offers something for everyone with over 50 baskets on display. Stop by the library today to place your bid. The Lake Orion High School Theater Department presents The Outsiders. Performances will be taking place this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tickets can be purchased at the door or online at locallevelevents.com. The Wind Nature Center will once again be hosting their Early Childhood Hour Out program this Thursday morning at 10:30. Parents, grandparents, nannies, and caregivers can bring their little ones for an hour of activities, fun, and friendship. This program is free and no registration is required. The Orion Library will be hosting a kindergarten library card party on Saturday morning beginning at 11 o'clock. Come enjoy activities and crafts and learn about the resources available at the library. This program is for kindergarten through second grade students. Please register at orionlibrary.org. Mark your calendar for the 4th annual Beast Before You Feast. This cardio extreme class will be held at the Orion Rec Center on Thanksgiving Day morning from 9:30 to 10:30. Unleash your inner beast with this high-intensity cardio mix with powerful strength moves. This class is free. For more information, you can visit orionparks.com. Get ready to do some holiday shopping at the Orion Arts Center. The 2025 Holiday Artist Market will open on November 29th. The market will be open on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. starting on November 29th through December 20th. Well, it looks like we're in for a chilly but dry week. Wednesday's forecast is calling for mostly cloudy skies with a high of 45 and low 32. Cloudy on Thursday with a high of 48 and low 39. Partly cloudy on Friday with a high of 47 and low 27. Partly cloudy again on Saturday with a high of 49 and low 33. and partly cloudy skies once again on Sunday with a high 53 and low 35. Well, that's it for this week's ONTV Quick Hit. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
And with that, we'll wrap up this episode of Orion Today. Michael, thanks for joining us again today.
My pleasure. I'm glad you're back and getting over a little bit of a cough there. But
a little bit. I'm feeling better. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your loved ones.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy the football game and the turkey.
Thank you. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.